This holiday season, help Soldiers for Stockings improve the morale and welfare of members of our armed forces deployed overseas. Now through November 20th, there is so much work to be done, and you can help in many ways. Download the stocking pattern from stockingsforsoldiers.org and start sewing today. Volunteer to help decorate and assemble stockings. Donate Christmas candies, snacks, nuts, chips, drink mixes, DVDs, books, magazines, lip balm, toiletries, and other items needed to fill the stockings. Or help make packets of snowman soup, hot chocolate, to send along with the stockings. For more information, patterns, and a list of items needed, visit stockingsforsoldiers.org. This holiday season, help send our troops a touch of home. For many, it's all they will receive. All stockings need to be completed by November 20th. So get started today at stockingsforsoldiers.org. That's stockingsforsoldiers.org. Stockings for Soldiers, sending stockings filled with joy to our soldiers in harm's way for the 9th consecutive year.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom133.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom133.com. Go to freedom133.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom133.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-646-6985. Again, that's 800-646-6985. 800-646-6985. 800-646-6985.
The following letters were written by our troops.
My dear fellow Americans, I truly appreciate your support. I was starting to wonder if people had forgotten about us over here, but then one of my buddies showed me this website, and now as tears are streaming down my face, I can see for sure that you haven't. Private Emily B., U.S. Army.
It's so heartwarming to see the American people not letting the men and women of the armed forces be forgotten. Your letters make a group of grown men, battle-hardened and gruff, act like a bunch of kids around a Christmas tree. Thanks. Staff Sergeant Matthew H., U.S. Army.
Your support may be the most important thing our troops can carry with them. But don't take our word for it. Take theirs. To show your support, visit americasupportsyou.mil. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Defense and the Ad Council.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge. This is your lovable host, Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio for hour number 2. Fastest 2 hours in internet talk radio is right here as I broadcast live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire. Yay! Where the state motto is still live free or die. It is not big government or bust. As we head on into the Christmas week, I know a lot of people are out traveling and getting their Christmas on. Merry Christmas to everyone. See, I don't say Happy Holidays, by the way. I say Merry Christmas. Why? If you're offended, you know what? If you're a Jew and you say Happy Hanukkah, I'm not going to be offended. Well, I guess that's a poor example, since a lot of Christians, including myself, do celebrate Hanukkah in some form or another. You know what? If you're a Muslim and you say Happy, is this Ramadan season? I don't know. But if you say Happy Ramadan, whatever you say, for that. I don't know if they say happy. I'm not going to be offended by it because that's what you truly believe. It is going to tell me that you're a Muslim, so I'm probably not going to want to be near you. But, I won't be offended. Some people are just so sensitive. I think we got a call here. Let's get to this caller before I get to Jefferson Davis. See if we can bring him on. 608, you're live on the Rod Eccles Show. What do you got for me?
Hey, Rod. Merry Christmas from California. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Merry Christmas to you, too.
Pretty good. Oh, thanks. Yeah, doing great out here in the left coast state of California. Just calling to show my support for candidate Donald Trump and wondering what you're thinking about that.
I got to tell you, I'm narrowing my different candidates down, and unfortunately for me, unlike most people across the country, I don't have a lot of time to do that now because New Hampshire is the first in the nation primary, along with Iowa being first in the nation caucuses. So I think they've actually announced is the first Tuesday in February. which is not as early as it was the last election cycle, but it's only about a week later. So I'm liking Donald. I got to tell you, I like him a lot. I really do. I like Ted Cruz. I like a lot of what Donald says. If Donald is a nominee, I am not going to be unhappy about that. I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to support him. And one of the reasons, I got to be honest about this, one of the reasons which started to get me on board, really, now I've always idolized Donald Trump business-wise, ever since I can remember, first hearing about him. I idolize him, man, business-wise. So I know he was a smart businessman. I know a lot of people say, well, he's gone bankrupt. And I have to say, no, you don't know the actual history. Donald Trump is
right.
Not
well,
personally.
I'm 50 years old, so I've known of Donald Trump since the 80s. I bought his Art of the Deal book when it first came out. I think it was in 1987, and I've followed him ever since. And every 4 years, I'm like, oh, my God, I hope he's going to run for president. And then he never did, and I was kind of PO'd about that. And then this year, I heard him talking about it again. I'm like, oh, he says this every 4 years. Is this guy going to run or not? And when he decided that he was going to, I was like, this is going to be the best thing that's happened to the Republican Party because, he's not establishment, and he's really breaking things up with them, and definitely not the status quo.
Yeah, no, he's not, and I'm really. I said in the beginning, back in May and June, that I was happy that Donald Trump was in the race simply because he's upset the political cart, big time, and they don't know.
Well, he has, and you know what's funny? I was telling somebody the other day. I said, I think the number one thing that people like about him is that the GOP doesn't like him, and if the GOP ever just threw everything behind him and said, yeah, let's go for Donald Trump, people would say, oh, they'd probably think twice. I mean, I'm sure they still support him, but you know what I'm saying. I think this is really a screw you to the GOP establishment, and I think it's great that people like Bush and even Rubio, when Bush didn't work out, we saw that they were trying to push Rubio, and now look where he's at. He's back down in the single digits again. So I think his candidacy is a great thing. I think he'd make a great president. And Cruz, too. I love Ted Cruz as well. I'm a little iffy on Cruz, but he kind of reminds me of a used car salesman. But I think he's pretty solid. I think he'd be a good VP for 8 years.
Well, yeah, one of the things about Cruz, and this goes along with what I say about his style, his speech pattern, his style of speech, kind of sing-songy almost. He's a very practiced and rehearsed politician. Make no mistake about it, Ted Cruz is a professional politician.
He is, and he's a good one. I mean, he's good. He's really good at what he does. And,
but
people like me that have been in politics for a long time, we hear that and we're like, something's not right with that. But I think he is a solid conservative. I think that when the establishment realizes that Rubio is going to go nowhere, that they're going to try to get Cruz on their side. So I think people need to pay attention to that.
Yeah, I got to tell you, though, one of the reasons why I've really come around to accepting Trump as being the nominee and really thinking that he might be my guy after all, he might be the guy that I pull the lever for, is simply because of two ladies. I've watched everything that I could possibly watch on them. Diamond and Silk. They got me excited.
Oh, I love them. Aren't they great?
I got to tell you, they got me excited about Trump. They're they're hilarious, but they are amazing. And I first saw that video and I just almost died. It was just so great. And you know what's funny? I mean, I'm obviously not black, but I have a lot of black friends, and they all love Donald Trump. And I think it's his big personality and that he's so rich. And who doesn't want to be like that? I mean, yeah, some people probably don't, but look at all the candidates. Who would you like to most live like? Donald Trump or some schmuck like, Jeb Bush? I mean, everybody wants a better life. Everybody wants to have a chance in this country. And I think that's something that people see when they see him. They're like, wow, look at his wife. Wow, look, the guy's rich. Wow, look, he's always in a limo. I want to be like that. Who doesn't want to be like that? Lifestyles of the rich and famous. Thank you, Robin Leach. But you know what? The Trump aspect when it comes to African Americans, there was a poll that was I think it was an NBC poll back
Mm-hmm.
in September. And back then it was showing that Trump was trending at 25% African American support. Now that's unheard of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, again, why wouldn't he? I mean, he's
is the whole
for
point
American people, and black people have been treated very badly by our politicians, by our law enforcement, by, people in general. And I think they've been made worse off under the Obama administration. What has he done for them,
Yeah,